boss rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do?
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. Thank you for listening to the show. I am Adam Banks. The song you just heard was Ballin' by Logic. That's a good song. Josh Bryant is with me. Josh, how's it going?
Doing well. You know, I've started following Logic here recently, and he's not been in the game very long. Is what I'm trying to say.
So he's new. So is he like some of the? Is this his like debut song?
No. I mean, this has been around for a couple of years now. It's got about 60,000 hits here on YouTube, and Logic's about 25 years old, and he's a different kind of taste of rap. You know, it's white. He's white. I mean, you don't see that very often in the game. Just like you don't see in the country music, you don't see a lot of black Darius Ruckers, do you?
That's really all you see.
So it got me intrigued a little bit there, and I listened to him. I'm like, he's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Just like I like Darius Rucker and country music.
Right.
So
I always remember him as Hootie and the Blowfish, though.
Right.
I only want to be with you.
Oh man, that was a good song.
All right, NBA playoffs is still.
We're back, second round.
This is the second round, and of course, I bring on my NBA expert Josh just to come on here and talk about some things. Josh, so far this has been a very interesting playoff, and you told me an interesting statistic.
An interesting statistic. Okay, yes. So if you notice, so earlier today we had a game winner in the Chicago-Cleveland game. Before that happened, the series was 2-1 Chicago. With that being said, it was 2-1 in all the series, and the lower seed was winning the series, which has not been done since the early 1980s when the NBA expanded. Yeah. And so that's amazing. It shows how competitive the NBA playoffs are and how everyone is at the top of their game. It's amazing to watch right now. We're seeing a lot of upsets.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much talent, and I think that the NBA gets so much better
every year.
Just the talent. I mean, I wonder why we think it's better. Do you think that people back then thought it was better?
Of course. And the reason we think it's better is because
we're seeing it.
We're seeing it, but we're also seeing some of the best shooters. I mean, Stephen Curry just broke the NBA 3 record 2 years in a row. I mean, records are being broken left and right. LeBron James will probably eventually.
Speaking of my boy,
Stephen
Curry.
We'll get to him.
Yes.
But LeBron James is already 7 on the all-time scoring list. I mean, and he'll be 5 in no time in a couple more years. So, but go ahead and talk about Stephen Curry.
Speaking of my boy Stephen Curry, he is this year's, ladies and gentlemen,
yes, 2015
MVP, most valuable player. I love it. Just like I said in the last podcast, he was going to be the MVP. Josh, isn't he?
You did. We talked about it, and you know what? Man, he's done a great job this season. He averaged over 20 points a game, around 7 assists, and probably 3 rebounds. I mean, the guy's done great, and he has helped propel his team to the top of the NBA. So he's well worth watching.
Yeah. So speaking of his series, Golden State versus.
Before we get to that, if you don't mind, can we touch on one more award?
Yeah.
Most improved player. Jimmy Butler got most improved player this year. What do you think about that? He raised his points per game probably by 4 to 6, his assists by 2, and his rebounds probably by 2. I mean, he did an amazing job this year and helped pull the Bulls. He's helped be Batman. He's being Robin to Derrick Rose and he is Batman.
I think he was an awesome addition for the Chicago Bulls, even to begin with. I mean, he just brings that. He brings what they need, what they're missing. He's like
he can be that second option.
Yes, that's exactly what they needed, and he came along and he did that. And he took his position and he said, "This is what I got to do to be better and to make the Bulls better." And he did it, and he did it in such a way that it was improved and noticed. That's why he gets the award.
Yes, agreed. Now let's go back to that first series we were talking about up in the West. We have the Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, and right now, surprisingly, Memphis is up. And I mean, the Grizzlies are a little injured. Mike Conley's wearing a face mask. He had surgery done on his face, and he's brought momentum back to the series.
That is crazy. And you know what's crazy? Crazier is when I was making my notes pre-podcast. Do you live above? What is this? Is this an airplane?
That's a helicopter riding over. We got the hospital nearby, so emergency touchdowns.
That's ridiculous.
But your notes, you were saying.
Anyway, I'll never come to this downtown studio again. But anyway, what I was trying to say is Golden State. I had my notes that it was 2-1 Golden.
for the season series.
Well, yeah, it was for the season series. Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, they beat them in the regular season, and now they're struggling here in the playoffs with them a little bit.
Yeah. So, it's just, I mean, 2-1, really 3 games isn't a lot of games to play. I mean, to understand who's the best.
No, we've still got a few more left, you know, and they can still win easily.
I got Golden State.
All right, and as we're speaking about it, Steph Curry comes on a commercial. So
Yeah.
I mean, is that a sign or is that a sign? I guess
that's a sign. Okay, Houston and the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yes, that we're actually watching that game right now.
LA is up.
LA is up by 1, 38-37.
Which could make the series 3-1.
3-1, you know. So let's another interesting statistic I looked up before today's podcast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Blake Griffin has the most triple doubles in the playoffs this year, and he finished off the San Antonio with 2 back-to-back triple doubles. And the last time a power forward did that was in the early '90s, and they won the championship.
Wow.
So Blake Griffin is evolving right before our eyes and is starting to take that next step and wants to become part of the top 5. Because right now, I don't know if you put him in the top 5.
No, you don't.
I don't think you do. It's really hard to throw him in there. I mean, you obviously got Russ, KD, LeBron, and maybe James Harden, Steph Curry. And I don't know if you put Blake in there.
And DeMarcus Cousins, you got to, you know. And,
I mean, and so if Blake can continue to help take this team to the next round, especially the Western Conference Finals, this will show that he is ready for the next level and he is ready to join the elite group of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, too bad it's the season's ending.
It is, but he can still show that he's an elite here at the end. I mean, if he goes on to take them to the Western Conference Finals, who would have thought that they would have upset the Spurs? And many still think that Houston is just as good, if not better, with their fast pace that they play and their big man, Dwight Howard.
I absolutely agree. He's just been fun to watch. He's definitely going to get an award at the end of the.
And what was the season series between them two? Banks, remind me.
2-2.
2-2. So this should go 7 games.
Straight
right?
up contest. It's going to be a great one.
Should go 7. So let's go ahead and let's move over to the East and let's talk about the the series going on over there. Let's touch on the game that happened today first. We had Cleveland versus Chicago, and as I mentioned earlier, LeBron hit a game winner, and the game before that, Derrick Rose hit a game winner. Now, I wish I would have had time before the show to look up when the last time something like that's happened, if ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having a lot of game winners. We had Paul Pierce the other day, but let's talk about how great that series is. It's 2-2 right now, and Derrick Rose looks good.
Derrick Rose, man, he's just he always shows up when he's needed, and he's had such an interesting dark career because Derrick Rose was, another one of those Stephen Curry type players that's just such a good point guard, and he's just had a dark career, man. He's been injured, and I feel like that right when he was just red hot in the biz, he just went down, and it was just interesting. So I really, really, really want to see Chicago win.
Okay.
And I
would like to too.
Think they're going to, man, but I'm
still don't. Even with Cleveland being without Kevin Love.
Right. Still without Cleveland being without. I do. I would love to see Chicago win, and they might have the heart to do it, but I still think Cleveland's going to pull it off. LeBron is hungry.
Well, today they did reseal home court advantage with that game-winning shot. That was incredible, and that is. That has really changed the course of the series because the Bulls had the advantage there for a time being, and as I mentioned, Kevin Love's injured. Well, Pau Gasol looks like he's got a little hamstring problem, and the only team actually healthy right now, the very healthiest, is Golden State. They have almost no issues. Marquise Spates has a calf injury, but it's going to only be like a week. Everyone else has bigger issues. With Memphis, you got Mike Conley with the face mask. Houston, you got Patrick Beverley out for the playoffs.
I love the face mask.
With the Clippers, you have Chris Paul, who's got his hamstring problem as well. And with Atlanta, you got Paul Millsap coming in and out. Al Horford's got problems, and Jeff Teague's got problems. And then lastly, with Washington, John Wall doesn't like he's going to finish the playoffs. But let's get back to. Just wanted to mention how there's so many teams injured and Golden State is staying completely healthy.
Right.
But let's get back to the series. So Chicago and Cleveland. You think Cleveland wins? I think it goes 7, and I think after seeing what happened today, I think Cleveland does win. I don't think they lose another one at home.
The regular season record was 2-2.
2-2. So it should go 7 again.
Another one that could go 7.
Okay.
Absolutely. And the final game we'll talk about is my boys, the Atlanta Hawks. And the reason I like the Atlanta Hawks is because they have not been in for a while.
That's
they
right.
They don't get in very
But
much.
you're going against one of your UK faves,
But
John Wall.
they face John Wall and the Washington
Paul
Wizards.
Pierce just
Now,
hit a game winner.
let me just tell you something, though. Let me say something about Washington. If you listen to the previous podcast, you'll hear me give John Wall all the praises because I really think it's his time to shine. And John, there's just so much. I love the position of the point guard, and I just love how, like, right now, it's just such a point guard
It's the
focus.
best position in the NBA. I
Yes.
can name 20 point guards off the
Yes.
top of my head that are incredible right now in no time. Specifically, there's 16 of them probably
In the playoffs.
in the playoffs. You have Steph Curry, you had Drew Holiday with New Orleans, who's good. You had Damian Lillard with Portland, Memphis, Mike Conley, Dallas. You had Rajon Rondo, the Clippers. You have Chris Paul, San Antonio, Tony Parker, Atlanta, Jeff Teague, Brooklyn, Darren Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on, as we say. So, but let's
John
talk
Wall's
about that.
another one. He's another one that wants to be that top guy in the league. He wants to be the best point guard in the league, and he wants his first title.
And you
so
know what,
that's
man?
gonna
He's easily one of the best point guards in the East.
That's
in
going to
the
be an
NBA.
interesting one, but I'm telling you, Washington's going to beat the Hawks.
So, now, have you seen the breaking news just the other day that John Wall has 5 fractures in his hand?
John Wall is not a little girl. He's not a young woman, man. He is a man.
So you think he's going to play with those 5 fractures?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll see tomorrow if he does play with those 5 fractures.
He's a warrior.
Before we wrap up the show a little bit, what was the season series of that?
That was the season series was 3-1
In favor of?
in favor of the Atlanta Hawks, actually.
Wow, so
Yeah.
there's your team a little bit showing up. So let's wrap it up with who we think moves on in each round really quick, and we'll talk about who moves on to the championship as things advance. So, Banks, we'll start back with Golden State and Memphis. You said Golden State.
Right.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think they find a way to overcome Memphis, and even though they're down right now, they probably win game 4 when they get home court advantage back. Moving on to Houston and LA. Who wins our game tonight as the Clippers are up 4 in LA on the Rockets?
It's going to be the Clippers, man.
They're going to go up 3-1. I agree with you on that. Let's go ahead and talk about now when LA and Golden State plays, who moves on to the championship?
It's going to be Golden State.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go with my dark horse here. I think I'm gonna go with LA. I'd love to see them make it.
You would.
You know,
you would. And you know what really just upsets me is the fact that you call yourself a Lakers fan and you're cheering for the Los Angeles Clippers.
well, why not, man? They're the same city. You know.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes no sense.
It doesn't to some, but to others it does.
No,
maybe.
no. Just to say that
okay,
about
so
you.
moving on.
Yes.
We've got
Trade.
so back to the game earlier today. Cleveland and Chicago. You have Cleveland winning. Yeah, I have Cleveland winning. I mentioned as after seeing what LeBron did today and that they take the home court advantage back. Now Atlanta and Washington. You've got Atlanta winning.
I've got Washington winning that one.
You've got Washington winning.
I've got Washington.
After seeing what's happened to John Wall.
Like I said, John Wall's going to be a man.
He's going to play.
Through the
Agreed.
playoffs.
He's probably going to play, but you know what? His assist numbers are not going to stay the same, and I don't know if they win that one. So I think I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Okay.
And Atlanta versus so Washington versus Cleveland. You've got
This is a really, really.
You've got
really
Cleveland,
hard
I'm assuming.
But this is a really hard one. Let me just say, I really want Chicago to win, but I think LeBron and Cleveland is just going to surpass Chicago.
Agreed. But so now you've got Cleveland and Washington, and who's your winner?
It's going to be Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've got Cleveland beating Atlanta if Atlanta beats Washington, which I think they will. So I've got Cleveland and LA, and you know what? With Kevin Love out, I think LA has their one chance for the next couple of years to win a championship because next year the Cavs are going to be healthy, Golden State's going to be just as good if not better. Houston's going to probably add another piece in the offseason. Who knows what else is going to happen? I think this is LA's one chance to win a championship while Chris Paul is still good and young.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can disagree with that whether they're playing Golden State or not.
Right.
Okay. So you've got Golden State and Cleveland, and do you still stick with your man MVP Steph Curry to win it all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I think Steph Curry. This is his year. MVP championship.
It would seal the year up, right?
It would seal his year up,
now,
man.
if you win MVP, it's great.
He is the new face.
If you win MVP, it's great, but if you don't win a championship, the year's still kind of a loss, right? Is it not?
Oh.
I mean, you as a player are self-improved, but you as a team.
I don't know though. You
teammate.
think as an individual, like you probably feel like, man, I am the man.
Is it my team's fault at that point? Is it your team's fault?
I won the MVP.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Right? Yeah, it could be.
What do you think if you win the MVP and you lose? Do you think it's your team's fault,
Oh, I mean,
or is the blame on you because you didn't finish it?
Yeah, right. You feel
turn
like
that
maybe that
table
you
around.
don't deserve that award. Like, why am I the MVP when I can't even get my army that I lead to the finish line.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to wrap up with, Banks, or anything? It's been a great show. Before we leave, we've got the Clippers up 43-41, and they're looking good right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. But yes, Josh, thanks for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you, man. And of course, as we exit, I would like to have some type of, maybe another Shaquille O'Neal song. Maybe.
Another Shaquille O'Neal song?
Yeah, if you could maybe
another
find one.
Shaquille O'Neal song. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. What you were going to say?
Shaquille O'Neal is one of these guys, man. He's just. We played. I know I got skills with the Z on the intro of our last one. We want to end it with some Shaquille.
Yeah.
Did you find us one?
That's agreeable. I'm still looking for something that's appropriate for our audience here. Yeah, as it can be hard to find sometimes, but
you might can find something from the Kazan.
I've got an idea that might be even a little bit better than that. Shaq also, as I told you last time, he made a song about Kobe. Well, he didn't just make a song about Kobe or didn't just rap about Kobe. He also rapped about other teammates and coaches and other things.
Like Phil and everybody?
Like Phil Jackson, exactly. So
there is a song
Does he have a
song that we're about to hear?
Of course. I'm going to have to play a song.
All right, we'll close to this. It's called Shaquille O'Neal Didn't Bother.
Biological didn't bother. So his biological father didn't bother.
But this was in 94.
This was in 94.
For Phil Jackson in 94. He didn't play for Kobe Bryant with Kobe Bryant in 94.
This song is about his biological father. And not Phil Jackson. I think it mentions Phil Jackson.
Threw me off on what you were about to play here.
Anyway, here's the song by Phil.
The longest exit music producer I've ever had, by the way.
And
to exit the show with the song.
It's not playing.
And it's not playing. See what I'm saying? Like, can we find... Listen, man.
We're having some malfunctions with the studio.
Your check laying over there, I'm ripping it up. You're not getting away. No check.
No check for me.
No check.
This show...
You can't even exit and leave with a good song. Am I going to have to, go over here and grab your boombox?
Grab my boombox.
And put it next to the microphone?
You might have to.
And there's nothing coming out. Oh, excellent. But there's pictures on the screen of Shaquille O'Neal, like model pictures. Which,
those are not model pictures.
What is that? Hilarious. We'll see you, ladies and gentlemen.
Child was great till it gold, but I guess not. You brought me into this world, but you're not my.
So we just ended with